All right, now get out your chocolates and flower bouquets because Tu B'Av arrives tomorrow night. Marked as the beginning of the grape harvest, the minor Jewish holiday has recently become known as Israel's Valentine's Day. But then before you go off celebrating or making a big deal, ask yourself, is your relationship right for you? Here to shine a light on what to look for and what to look out for is Israeli psychologist Dr. Kamila Forkosh Lavan. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for
I'm so happy to have you here. All right, now, many people say that opposites attract. Is that true, or maybe should we find a partner who's closer to our own nature?
So yes and no, both, depends, okay? On one hand, we, from a genetic perspective, we do look for someone that actually differs from us and that ensures a better genetic quality, so to speak, for the offspring and thereby survival, yeah?
Sure.
But as far as our goals and motivations for life and like how we want to live our life, it is good if there are at least, not everything necessarily, but at least some of the basics, the bigger kind of points do match, because otherwise you're pulling in different directions.
Well, but that's it. I've heard different streams of thought on this. I've heard that it's good to find somebody who thinks differently than you and maybe rounds you out and covers the bases that you don't. And then I've heard that no, you should share vices and virtues and do things together to create harmony. Which path do you subscribe to?
So again, we're talking about the bigger things that would be similar, right? So if there's someone that is challenging you, but you're also open to that to a certain degree, so this is a beautiful thing because then he completes you. However, if you have really high difficulty with change and he wants to jump from airplanes and take you with, this is a problem, yes? So really, really it depends.
All right, so how can we know if our relationship with our partner is right for us? What are you looking for, basically?
So it's very important to understand that, there's this romantic idea in pop culture of, the wedding is the happiest day of your life, and this is just fireworks and everything like that. However, like what happens after? Why is the wedding the happiest day of your life? You have a whole life, hopefully, in front of you. And interestingly enough, there is a parsha that I heard at one point that it's even in the Torah, right, where they talk about how the more you know a person and the more there is a way for why to love them, your love will grow. And it makes sense from a psychological perspective as well. And I'm sure many of us have experienced this, where if you meet somebody and you feel like, wow, you're so attracted to fireworks and everything, except if they're not treating you right, after a while, they're not even attractive. And it does happen the opposite way as well, where you might meet someone and physically maybe you don't find them as interesting and attractive, but they're so bright, they're so interesting, they catch you, and they're the sexiest thing ever. Okay, so it's important to understand that love is a verb, and it depends on how the person treats you. Look for that. And
probably in both parties putting in effort and work to maintain that relationship. All right, well, what are the criteria by which you can examine whether or not a relationship is truly healthy?
So again, look for treatment. Look for not only for the fireworks. Again, I'm highlighting that because a lot of times we get blinded by that. So once you already establish that you like the person and you find them sexy, and it's very important, and again, that's very important, try to put that aside for a minute and be a little bit more logical and do examine a person like you would, let's say, a business partner. Put some effort into it. Why? Because you're going to have to live with this human and solve problems and, maybe argue some things out, and finances, and divide those finances, and children, and how to raise them. So also look for kindness of heart. Like, how does this person react to others? Is he willing or she willing to help? Willing to be kind? When you disagree, how do you disagree? So people look most of the time for how do they get along when everything is peachy. But where it's at is that how do you disagree, and do you attack each other, or do you as a team work out something on the outside of you? And how do you solve that?
Interesting. All right, so now you kind of touched on this a little bit before, but how far does that butterfly in your gut feeling go? How much should you listen to your gut and those butterflies versus maybe logic and grounded thinking?
So it's a great question. You should use both. Okay, because on one hand, we are very, very much guided. We like to think that we're so intellectual and so far evolved, but at the end of the day, we're animals, everybody else.
Oh, no, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not evolved.
So why am I saying that? Because there's a lot of research, and it's very interesting. You can actually look it up. There's like some of them are also on videos, how we choose. And usually it's women that tend to do the choosing. And we do it by sense of smell, meaning we do smell out the genome of our partner and we find them more attractive, interestingly enough, it also is part of it, like part of the health of our partner, which is there, okay? Like, first of all, they need to be a little bit different. Second of all, health, we smell it out too. So that's one. So that's part of the, also of this butterfly effect moment. I'm very excited. So once you have that and you're very excited about a person, great. Put it aside though for a minute, because if he's mistreating you, if he's not reliable, if he starts to call you names, beat you up, that's his...
Yeah, no, those are red flags.
And yes.
Those are pretty big red flags. All right, well, for me, I'll share this with our viewer. You know, what worked for me and my wife is banana pancakes. That's it. Make banana pancakes super easy, and you'll
It's a very, very good idea.
Kamila, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.